Just wanted to let you know that you are amazing, special, and capable of anything. Thank you for watching this video and taking a positive step for your learning. So, welcome to the world of statistics. Statistics is the study of collecting, analyzing, and displaying data. And there are so many uses for statistics in everyday life. In journalism, health, science, politics, weather, you name it. When you open that weather app in the morning and it says 40% chance of rain, statistics, boom, right there. If you flick on the news and it says 71% of people are single-dosed against the coronavirus, which is very topical at the moment, boom, statistics right there. Or if you actually look up that 0.37% of Australians consider themselves Jedi, boom, that's statistics right there. So today we're going to be learning all about statistics, what it is, the different types of data you can collect, and how you can collect it. So let's move over and have a look. There are two types of data that you can collect. The first type of data involves numbers. Can you think of different data that might data or information that might involve numbers? Things like height, distances, times, amount of screen time. These are all pieces of information that involves numbers. There is also a second type of data you can collect, which are categories. Think about questions like, what's your favorite color? Favorite animal? What's your religion? What's your thoughts on TikTok? I don't know. Opinions and things like that. Do you think that everyone should eat mac and cheese every day? Yes or no questions. These are all pieces of data to do with categories. So if you haven't figured already, the two main types of data are labeled like this: numerical, to do with numbers, and categorical. But in Year 7, we actually look at two special types of numerical data. The first type we look at is data that can be measured. So if we were to think of our things up above here, categories of data, things like height can be measured. Well, maybe I should write that in blue. Give me one moment. Height can be measured. Distances can be measured. Times can be measured. You can have 130.1 centimeters, 130.2 centimeters. If you can have decimals and it's something you can measure, this is a special type of numerical data called continuous numerical data. It's on a scale. You can measure it. So I can draw like a cute little ruler. Let's see, can I do it? No, I'll just draw it like this. Continuous numerical data. It's on a scale. So you can have 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, etc. The other type of data though, is data that can only be set amounts. It's countable. Think about Smarties in a bag. That's data. So if you got one bag that had 11 Smarties, one bag that has 12 Smarties, that's numerical data. But you can't get half Smarties or a third Smarties or 0.125 of a Smartie. They are set or countable amounts. If I was to say, how many screens do you have in your house? That's something you can count. You can't say, oh, I have 5.45 screens. That's not a legit thing. It is not real. So we call this data discrete numerical data. It's data that's in set amounts or countable. You won't get halves or decimal points there. So those are the main types of data, numerical or categorical. And if you're looking at numerical, you can either get continuous numerical data, so that means you're measuring it, there's decimal points, or sets amounts of data, discrete, numerical. So in green are your main types. Now there's two ways that we can collect data. Let's see if I can scroll over to a new place. Ooh, a bit glitchy. There are two ways that you can collect data. You can either get data from a primary source, or you can get it from a secondary source. So a primary source of data means that it has been collected from an original person. So it's freshly taken data, original data that has been gathered. So maybe you've gone and you've asked everyone in year 7 what their favorite shoe color is. Or maybe a reporter came up to you and asked for your thoughts on Charli D'Amelio. Is that her name? I hope it is. Wait, I'm actually going to look it up. I looked it up and I'm right. Go me. So if the data has been collected firsthand, that means it's primary data, primary sourced data. It has been collected freshly, it is first-hand data, and that's that. But a secondary source of data is data that has been already summarized by someone before. Summarized by someone before. So say, for example, you were doing a debate about whether Australia Day should be changed. The statistic is that 55% of people in 2021 think that the day should be changed. Did you collect this data? No, this was actually a fact or statistic that was gathered by an organization called Australia Talks. So this is secondary data or a secondary source of data if you were to use it in your work. You didn't talk to 17,000 different people to get this statistic. You're just using it or in your work after it was written by Australia Talks. So that's the difference between primary and secondary sourced data. Primary data is data you've gotten yourself, while secondary is data that's been summarized by someone else and then you're using it. So the last thing we're going to look at today is the difference in collecting data from a sample versus a census. And it's very easy. A census means that you've collected data from everyone who you could collect from. So e.g., if you wanted to find out about year 7's thoughts on, I don't know, KFC, yum, if you talked to all the year 7 students across your school, and then across your town, then across your city, you have conducted a census because you have talked to everyone who you could collect data from. But in most cases, you don't undertake a census because that's just a lot of time and effort, and ain't nobody got no time for that. So you land up taking a sample, which is a small subset of the population. So maybe if you wanted to find out year 7's opinions, you talked to 5 year 7s from every school, or you talked to, 10 year 7s from 5 local schools. It's not going to describe what everyone thinks, but it helps you get a good idea of what everyone is thinking. So that's the difference between a sample and a census. But you have to be careful that when you are getting information from a sample, that it is not biased. Biased means that there is a tinge of unfairness or judgment in who you're sampling. So maybe if you were talking about what year 7's favorite fast food is, and you're interviewing people as they're ordering burgers from Macca's, that's not a very fair sample because the students are already at Macca's. So you have to make sure that the data you collect does not contain bias and is free from any extra judgment or opinions that could change your final outcome. So today, we have learned quite a bit. We've learned about what statistics is. We've learned about the different types of data, how we collect our data, and samples versus censuses. So I hope you have enjoyed your introduction to statistics today.